Good evening, members. CVS Health, one of our premier partners, has joined HOSA to make history and support the first tobacco-free generation. With your help, we can be the first. HOSA members, let's be the first. It is up to everyone to empower those around them to perform their best, especially when others have disabilities. Microsoft is committed to level the playing field through accessible technology so that everyone has the opportunity to win.
My name is Grover.
Sean. My name is Ian.
I'm Taylor.
My name is Owen, and I am 9.5 years old.
I only have one.
And yeah.
I love video games, my friends, my family, and again video games.
Whenever I play it makes me feel happy.
The fun that you get to have with connecting with your friends.
You make your own rules?
It's his way of interacting with his friends when he can't physically otherwise do it.
When I'm playing with a regular controller, there's some things that don't work for me.
It's difficult for me to use both joysticks and the D-pad at the exact same time.
And it just slowed me down a bunch more while other people were like...
She's never had the freedom to play at the level she knows she could.
I never thought it was unfair. I just thought, hey, this is the way it is and it's not gonna change.
What I like about the adaptive controller is that now everyone can play.
I don't even have to look at the controller and just be like looking at the screen like, hey, yep.
You never want your kid to feel like an outsider or an other.
One of the biggest fears early on is, how will Owen be viewed by the other kids?
He's not different when he plays.
It's a little challenging, but that's the whole point of gaming.
I can hit the buttons just as fast as they can.
And I think I can crush my friends.
No matter how your body is or how fast you are, you can play. It's a really good thing to have in this world.
Where magic happens every day. Are you ready to kick off the 42nd Annual International Leadership Conference? Hold on. I think something's blocking my mic. Can we just try that one more time? I said, HOSA, are you ready? That is much more like it. Well, let's not keep you waiting any longer. Welcome to the 2019 International Leadership Conference. Let the magic begin. Heroes, assemble. Good job, guys. Good job. Thank you, guys.
Agent Blake, area is secure. I am here in the Coronado.
This is Agent Burke. I'm in position in Veracruz. You're coming in loud and clear, Agent Blake.
Thank you very much. Everyone in this room has been scanned and verified.
Excellent. Apologies, everyone, for the added security measures tonight, but these days, you can't be too careful. And we had to scan each and every one of you to make sure you were who we were expecting tonight.
We have learned that as members of HOSA, you have all made the important decision to become the future leaders in the global health community, or GHC, or as we say, Is that a correct assessment? HOSA, let me hear you say, yeah. Back to you, Agent Burke.
We're hearing a good yeah in here, Agent Blake. To accomplish that goal, we know you recognize the need for compassion, the value of leadership, learning, service, and innovation. Is that true? Sounded pretty good in here, Agent Blake.
Thank you very much. Now, these are the qualities our organization greatly admires. You see, our organization works with a team of Earth's mightiest heroes. And we have had our eye on you members of HOSA for quite some time now.
Now, some of our mightiest teammates have wanted to help us introduce the 2019 HOSA officers. Is that okay with everyone? Are you ready? We are pumped in here, Agent Blake.
All right. Coronado, are you ready? Agent Burke, we are at go.
We are a go. Here they come now. Let's start things off to the stage. Your Eastern Regional Vice President. At the University of Michigan, her passion for HOSA is leading her toward a future career in oncology. From Montville, New Jersey, give it up for Ria Gupta. Having proving herself worthy of her executive board position with HOSA, Ria is joined on the stage tonight by someone who truly values worthiness, the god of thunder, Thor. It sounds like thunder in here, Agent Blake.
All right. Please welcome your Central Region Vice President, a sophomore at the University of Alabama, majoring in public health, with a concentration in the health professions. He plans to become a doctor of osteopathic medicine. Let's hear it for Darius Thomas. As you can see, Darius is driven by determination, as he is joined by one of our most determined heroes, Black Widow. Back to you, Special Agent Burke.
Continuing on here in Veracruz, please welcome your post-secondary collegiate vice president, majoring in anthropology, where he specializes in bioarchaeology and forensic anthropology. He is a founding member of the University of Kentucky's HOSA chapter. From the bluegrass state of Kentucky, please welcome Austin Brewer. Austin is an incredibly loyal member of the HOSA family, and he is joined tonight by one of the most fiercely loyal heroes of all time, Black Panther! Kentucky is well represented tonight, Agent Blake.
Thank you very much, Agent Burke. Everyone, welcome to the stage, your secondary board representative, an incoming freshman at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, pursuing a career in neurosurgery. From Raleigh, North Carolina, it is Karthik Tyagi. Karthik plans to double major in psychology and neuroscience, two fields that require precision. And meeting him on stage is someone who definitely knows a thing or two about precision. It's Hawkeye. Back to you, Agent Burke.
Thank you, Agent Blake. Next up is your 2019 HOSA president. As a recent graduate of the University of Florida with a bachelor's degree in public health, she aspires to become a physician focused on populations affected by health disparities. From West Palm Beach, Florida, welcome Sarah Fleischman. As president of HOSA, Sarah remains focused on leadership and honor. So it is no surprise that she is being joined on stage tonight by two heroes who are guided by those same values, Captain America and Captain Marvel. And who do we have up next, Agent Blake?
It's very exciting over there in Veracruz, but here in Coronado, we're welcoming your president-elect, a sophomore majoring in microbiology, immunology, and molecular genetics at the University of California, Los Angeles. She looks forward to a career in pediatric neurology. From California, Vivian Doe. As president-elect, Vivian plans to lead with responsibility and enlightenment. And so it is fitting that she is joined on stage by two heroes that are guided by those same principles. It is Spider-Man and Dr. Strange. Let us give a big round of applause to these officers.
What an honor this is to have our team assembled here to celebrate these officers and all of you hardworking members of HOSA. Agent Blake, it's quite an evening.
It is quite an evening, Agent Burke, with all these heroes together up here on stage and over in your room. I think it's the perfect time to capture a great picture, don't you think?
That's affirmative. All right, everyone, strike your best heroic pose. 3, 2, 1, pose! Give them a round of applause! The energy here is exciting, Agent Blake. Maybe we should all stick around and keep things moving on. I'm hearing an alarm. Are you hearing the same thing, Agent Blake?
Uh-oh, that sound can only mean trouble.
It looks like we're having big problems downtown.
All right, everyone, sorry we cannot stay and celebrate more with you all, but it seems like you are in good hands with these officers.
Thanks for having us, HOSA. Heroes, let's move out! Let's go!
Since the beginning, the world has needed healers to ask questions, discover answers, find remedies, and save lives. To do so, we must challenge ourselves, learn the teachings of our predecessors, and unravel the chronicles of the past, because every great achievement was only possible by remembering what came before. Now, it's our turn. We are the future health professionals. HOSA, it's time for you to define your purpose.
Welcome to the 2019 HOSA International Leadership Conference. HOSA members spent this year participating in hours of service to their communities, developing their character and leadership abilities, and exploring the health professions. You have worked incredibly hard all year for this moment, the HOSA International Leadership Conference. Whether your goal is to have a career in health research, medicine, advocacy, teaching, or any other health profession, HOSA supports you and helps you to define your purpose. HOSA allows you to test your limits in health knowledge and skills, while also training you to become a better leader in your community and your chosen health profession. Each of you, while at ILC, are defining who you are as you strive for excellence, choose your dreams, and author your own story. We are thrilled by the accomplishments of our phenomenal HOSA members and for the outstanding growth of our exceptional organization this year. We have numerous competitions, workshops, opportunities, and fun events planned for you over the next few days. We are thrilled to have 11,525 delegates and guests representing 54 chartered associations, U.S. territories, and countries here with us in Orlando, Florida. We have so much lined up for you right now, and it all begins at this very moment. From an early age, we are encouraged to explore our career options and dream about what we would like to do or who we want to be when we grow up. We are always being asked to define our purpose in life. As HOSA members, we have numerous opportunities for career exploration, leadership building, service, and networking with health professionals. Being asked to define your purpose may initially seem like a daunting task as you navigate through school, but HOSA enables you to do it while you serve your community. At the same time, you also gain valuable hands-on knowledge and experience in the health field. Think about what motivates you to define your purpose. When acclaimed astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson was asked the question, What can you tell a young person looking for motivation in life? He replied, the problem, often not discovered until late in life, is when you look for things in life like love, meaning, and motivation, it implies they are simply just sitting behind a tree or underneath a rock. The most successful people in life recognize that in life, they create their own love. They manufacture their own meaning, and they generate their own motivation. For me, I am driven by two main philosophies. Know more today about the world than I knew yesterday, and lessen the suffering of others. You'd be surprised how far that gets you. HOSA members, as you continue on your health professional journey, I hope you keep Neil deGrasse Tyson's words in mind. Define your own purpose in life. Always keep learning and lead a life of service that will inspire others. Stan Lee, the creator of the Marvel comic series, had an idea in 1963. The idea was to bring together a remarkable group of people to see if they could become something more, to see if they could work together when we needed them to fight the battles that we never could. Not only do these words explain the Avengers Initiative, they describe the tenacious assembly of countries, states, and territories that make up HOSA-Future health professionals.
Get loud as we recognize the world of HOSA with the Parade of Flags.
Oh, thank you.
Alabama. You're fine. American Samoa.
Arizona.
Arkansas.
California.
Canada.
Are you Mike?
China.
Colorado.
Connecticut.
Delaware.
District of Columbia.
Georgia.
Hawaii.
Idaho.
Illinois.
Iowa.
Kansas.
Kentucky.
Louisiana.
Maine.
Maryland.
Massachusetts.
Mexico.
Michigan.
Minnesota.
Mississippi.
Missouri.
Montana. New York.
North Carolina.
North Dakota.
Ohio.
Oklahoma.
Oregon.
Pennsylvania.
Puerto Rico.
Rhode Island.
South Carolina.
South Dakota.
Tennessee.
Texas.
Utah.
Vermont.
Virginia.
Washington.
West Virginia.
Wisconsin.
And finally, our host state, Florida. Please welcome our friends from Coronado to complete our 54 associations represented on stage. Thank you to HOSA's Chartered Associations for helping to create the largest student organization for future health professionals in the world. I love seeing all the flags from around the world, which represents how diverse and widespread our organization is. And I love being here in Orlando, Florida, where dreams come true, where the extraordinary comes to life, and where there's always a sense of wonder. Anything is possible in the Sunshine State. I'm looking at a room full of stars and a room full of international champions, and I'm so excited to see who's gonna take home first place. To bring us greetings in Veracruz is Florida HOSA State President Casey Cantelli.
Hello, my name is Casey Cantelli, and I have the great honor and pleasure of welcoming you all here to the Sunshine State of Florida. And today, I want to share with you my very own Sunshine State Survival Guide. The first thing you must know about Florida is that we may be the Sunshine State, but there is always a chance of rain. Never believe your weather app, but know that two people can share an umbrella and they can survive any storm together. Next, when the sun is out, make sure to have your shades handy. Because as Helen Keller once said, keep your face to the sun and you will never see the shadows. The third tip, here in Florida, we believe in magic. I mean, we are home to the most magical place on earth. And it is Peter Pan that taught us that the moment we doubt whether we are able to do something, we cease to ever be able to do it. Finally, the most important advice that I can leave you with is that if a gator chases you, run in a straight line as quickly as possible. Because after all, as Robert Frost once taught us, taking the road less traveled can make all the difference. So stick together, keep your eyes fixed on the sun, believe not only in magic, but yourself, and don't be afraid to take the road less traveled. And not only will you be able to make it through Florida, but through life. And with that, on behalf of Florida HOSA, I wish you all a magical time here at the 2019 International Leadership Conference.
We thank Florida HOSA for hosting our 42nd Annual International Leadership Conference. We present this plaque for gratitude for an unforgettable experience every time we come to Florida. Congratulations.
Being a member of HOSA means different things to all of us. But as future health professionals, our goal is to engage with others in meaningful ways, give back through service, and act as role models to those we lead. We are lucky to have partners who are leaders in their fields and help to ensure that HOSA-Future health professionals remains the pipeline for future health professionals. Through the HOSA 100 National Advisory Council, partnering health professionals and corporations offer their advice, resources, and knowledge to provide insight into the current landscape of health. The council members joining us on stage are true HOSA advocates who take action to help us reach our goals. On behalf of the 245,000 future health professionals and 2.5 million alumni, we thank each of you for your extensive contributions to HOSA, Future Health Professionals. Please join me in giving a HOSA welcome to Dr. Bruce Green, Chairman of Council and Chief Federal Medical Officer at Deloitte. Dr. Michael J. Maniak, Co-Chair of the Council and Director of Medical Affairs at GlaxoSmithKline. Colleen Bay Anderson, Dean of Specialized Programs at the University of Phoenix. Dr. William Barnes, HOSA 100 National Advisory Council. Rebecca McGrath, Vice President of Government Relations and Public Policy at Cardinal Health, representing Sean Kalanikos. Kevin Savasco, Lead Architect at Watson Health Federal, IBM. Bethany Baumgart, Outsourcing Manager, External Analytical Strategy and Management at Bristol Myers Squibb, representing Patricia Cornett. Ernie DuPont, Director of Workforce Initiatives at CVS Health. Dr. Sarah Lynn Mark, President of SoloMed Solutions and iGiant. HOSA Future Health Professionals also welcomes the newest members of the council and presents each with a recognition plaque. Nick Hines,
healthcare industry leader at the Center for Creative Leadership. Ann Powell, Director of Healthcare Policy and Advocacy at Johnson & Johnson. Lori Tremmel Freeman, CEO of the National Association of County and City Health Officials. Nicole Robinson, Product Manager for Career Education at National Geographic Learning. And Maya Wander, Researcher at Microsoft.
At this time, we want to welcome George Safakis, Director of HOSA's Washington, D.C. office. We're going to head up this way. Mr. Safakis, this evening we would like to honor you with the Presidential Award for an exceptional decade of service to HOSA-Future health professionals. You're welcome. Thank you. We're going to head back to you. Please join me in expressing thanks to the HOSA 100 National Advisory Council and the Director of the HOSA Washington, D.C. office.
Will Henry Pang, Vice President of Business Innovation at SKT Education Group, please join us on stage to accept the China HOSA Charter. HOSA-Future Health Professionals is an international student organization that empowers its members to become leaders in the global health community through education, collaboration, and experience. HOSA recognizes SKT Education Group as an international innovative education group that will hold HOSA's charter and will develop a partnership in exploring, experimenting, and licensing HOSA programs throughout China. In helping make education alive in China through services such as HOSA-Future Health Professionals, China HOSA will meet the needs for students and will help them thrive and achieve their transformation by gaining the lifelong benefit of skills and knowledge in the 21st century. It is with great honor that HOSA-Future Health Professionals presents the China HOSA Charter at the 42nd International Leadership Conference in Orlando, Florida on June 19, 2016. We're gonna hold it together. Will the China HOSA delegation please stand so we can officially congratulate you? Congratulations!
Inspirational people not only lead, but teach others how to reach the top. Our partners recognize that investing in HOSA-Future Health Professionals means investing in the future. We are proud to have their support in the HOSA Scholarship Program. The 2019 scholarship recipients are HOSA members who have exemplified the unwavering drive to create a brighter future by reinforcing HOSA's core values to learn, lead, serve, and innovate. 4 HOSA members are receiving scholarships tonight from the U.S. Army totaling $638,300. Each year, more than 5,000 young men and women become U.S. Army officers through their local ROTC program, a program that trains and educates the future leaders of our Army for the complex challenges of the 21st century. For many individuals, their college education was made possible through an U.S. Army ROTC scholarship. The U.S. Army awarded 36 scholarships to HOSA members in the amount of $4.2 million as part of this year's scholarship program. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please give a warm HOSA welcome to Rachel Warner, Victor Pagan, Jordan Armstrong, and Colonel Deborah Chappell, Chief Nurse, U.S. Army Cadet Command.
Please join me in congratulating the scholarship recipients who are here with us tonight. Rachel Warner is receiving a scholarship to Brown University for $235,200. Victor Pagan is receiving a scholarship to Florida Southern University for $130,000. And Jordan Armstrong is receiving a scholarship to the University of North Georgia for $50,100. And not with us tonight is Caleb Almond, who is receiving a scholarship to Southern Methodist University for $223,000. Congratulations!
We are excited to announce that HOSA's scholarship program is awarding $82,500 to 71 HOSA members in scholarships at the international level. When the international scholarships are combined with the $846,475 that were awarded by chartered associations and the $4.2 million awarded by the U.S. Army, the funds that HOSA members are receiving in 2019 totals over $5.2 million. We are so impressed and thankful to our sponsors for raising an extraordinary amount of money for scholarships. Congratulations, HOSA!
Show me a piece of your heart. I'm calling you up to getting down, down. Show me a piece of your love. I'm calling you up to getting down, down. Show me a piece of your heart, a piece of your love. I'm calling you up to getting down, down, down. The way that we touch is never enough. I'm turning you up to getting down, down. Show me a piece of your heart, a piece of your love. I'm calling you up to getting down, down, down. The way that we touch is never enough. I'm turning you up to getting down, down, down.
What? Sorry, just quickly. What if it's
da 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 down, down, down. Da da da. Da Down, 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 down. Show me easy, show me the heartache. I'll be what you want, and it's physical. Keep it subliminal. Show me what you want. Show me easy, show me the heartache. I'll be what you want, and it's physical. Keep it subliminal. Show me what you want. Show me a piece of your heart, a piece of your love. I'm calling you up to getting down, down, down. The way that we touch is never enough. I'm turning you up to getting down, 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 down. Show me a piece of your love. I need a piece. Da da da, da da da, down, down, down. Da da da, da down, down, down.
We want to take this time to thank our friends, family, and special guests for being here with us tonight and celebrating our students and our organization. Let's give these individuals a round of applause.
The HOSA Hall of Fame was created to honor and recognize individuals who have rendered outstanding service to HOSA, health and biomedical science education, and the health industry as a whole. There are many individuals who have helped lay a strong foundation for our organization over the years. Without their leadership, compassion, and true dedication, HOSA simply would not be the organization it is today. At this time, we would like to introduce several of these leaders and welcome them as HOSA's 2019 Hall of Fame recipients. Our first Hall of Fame inductee represents the State Advisor Division. Please welcome to the stage, Dana Stringer from Alabama HOSA. A HOSA alumna, a local state advisor, Ms. Stringer brought a new level of organization to Alabama HOSA. In 2018, she started a champ camp for State Leadership Conference finalists to further prepare Alabama students for ILC. She integrated HOSA into the health science curriculum and provided quality resources to ensure the teachers have the support they need in the classrooms. Not only does she keep Alabama HOSA strong, she uses her talents to serve internationally as secretary on the HOSA Inc. Board of Directors. giving unselfishly of her time to ensure the success of the mission of HOSA. Congratulations, Mrs. Stringer.
This year, HOSA is proud to have Marguerite Bagwell as the local chapter advisor inductee. Mrs. Bagwell from Texas HOSA is tonight's honoree who is unable to be with us this evening. But even though she can't be here, we wanted to share why she's receiving this recognition. For over 15 years, Mrs. Bagwell has worked as a volunteer with communities to develop citizen responders for emergencies and disasters, recruited countless members for classes in MRC, CERT, and Stop the Bleed, and assisted in disaster drills, health fairs, and preparedness education programs, and spent numerous hours as an advocate for suicide prevention and mental health awareness, as a mission dental care provider, as an assistant with prison services, and as a volunteer with the homeless. Mrs. Bagwell is a local advisor at Alvin High School in Texas who goes beyond the classroom to make her school, HOSA chapter, and community a safer place for all. Mrs. Bagwell is most deserving to be in HOSA's Hall of Fame.
Put your hands together for Talia Goose, our next inductee representing the HOSA Alumni Division from the National Association of County and City Health Officials. Ms. Goose has been with NACHO for the past 7 years and serves as a consulting specialist. As a HOSA alumni member, Ms. Goose makes presentations in Washington, D.C. at the Public Health Leadership Seminar for HOSA designees, where she shares her journey and opportunities available in county and city health organizations. She is instrumental in providing invaluable information for HOSA's competitive events program, always provides valuable partner names, and is endlessly connecting the dots whenever possible between HOSA members and NACHO. Congratulations to Talia Goose, HOSA Alumni Hall of Fame inductee.
Please give a warm HOSA welcome to Rebecca McGrath of Cardinal Health, our partner inductee. Ms. McGrath is one of HOSA's most inspiring leaders. Each year, she comes to HOSA's Washington Leadership Academy to work with state officers and local members on ways to meet their legislators on the Hill in a power-packed training session. Her presentations are always extraordinary, and because of her work, HOSA members are better prepared and therefore better future health professionals. Congratulations, Ms. McGrath. Now we're gonna go this way. Thank you.
Honoring our Hall of Fame inductees, please welcome Somia Vaitla from Ohio, who will be performing Hero by Mariah Carey.
There's a hero if you look inside your heart. You don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer if you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive, and you feel like hope is gone. Look inside you and be strong, and you finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. It's a long road when you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you felt will disappear. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive when you feel like hope is gone. Look inside you and be strong, and you finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. Oh, let knows dreams are hard to follow. Don't let anyone tear them away. Hold on, there will be tomorrow. In time, you'll find the way. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive when you feel like hope is gone, and the strength to carry on. Look inside you, you'll see the truth that the hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Sumya, for that awesome performance. The individuals recognized as part of our Hall of Fame induction share a vision and passion for HOSA that has helped us become the premier international student organization for future health professionals. They have defined their purpose in HOSA. They inspire members to work harder, be selfless, commit, and work towards bettering our communities. Thank you, and congratulations to the 2019 HOSA Hall of Fame members.
I'm honored to introduce our keynote speaker tonight. As future health professionals, we know our careers will be rewarding, but we will also face challenges, struggles, and stories that will not always have a happy ending. Tonight, our keynote speaker has a story to share with all of us, but it is not a happy one, but it is true and it is inspiring. His story begins when he leaves his home and family in Vietnam for a chance at a better life here in the United States. Upon his arrival in the United States, and for the next 20 years, he experienced harassment, bullying, and unimaginable loss within his family. Despite all of these horrific events he endured, today we have the opportunity to be empowered and impacted by his story. Fueled by the pain that struck him and his family, he has devoted his life to making positive changes to ensure that no one else has to endure the same struggles as he did to create a life here in the United States. Tonight, Dr. Steve L. Robbins is founder and owner of S.L. Robbins and Associates, a consulting firm on issues of human behavior. He specializes in communication, sociopsychology, and cognitive neuroscience. As a consultant, he helps facilitate conversations to create new workplace solutions for workplace inclusiveness. Numerous schools and organizations utilize his book, What If? Short stories to spark diversity dialogue, to foster deeper conversations about diversity, inclusion, and the power of caring. Joining us in Veracruz, please give a warm welcome to our keynote speaker, Dr. Steve L. Robbins.
Hello! How you do? Very good to be here. Very good to be at Disney Orlando with you. Although I'm very tired. Very tired. Travel a lot this week, but very good. You have lots of energy. Good to be with you. I normally not wear suit and tie like this, but last week I see movie John Wick. So he inspired me to wear all black. Do not worry, I not hurt you tonight. Right? So very good to be here with you. You understand okay? English, very hard language for immigrants like me to learn. Too many words in English sound same, but mean different thing. For example, 2 days ago, wake up, kiss dear wife, and on drive to airport, almost went into deer. I take shower bare naked and go to zoo and see bear naked. Oh, this is very confusing for me. In United States, we drive on parkway and park on. That's very stupid, I think, right? Very stupid. So very hard. Okay, let me ask you. What first word, first thought pop in your head when you see and you hear me? Just yell out your first impression of me. Just say out loud so I can hear somebody. Oh, yeah. So somebody I hear say Asian. Whoever say that, you very perceptive you are. Very good. Says what else? Yes, I hear funny. Yes, I try to be like Jackie Chan. Right? And someone I say accent, right? Everybody have accent from another perspective, right? But I don't have the accent that you think that I have. That was my very bad Mr. Miyagi accent that I learned from watching Karate Kid growing up, right? Daniel-san, wax on, wax off. I don't do that accent just for fun, I do it for a reason. In graduate school at Michigan State University, some of you are just starting to get, I don't speak with that accent, aren't you, right? You're trying to figure this all out? Anyway, at Michigan State University, a colleague of mine did a research project that he ended up calling the uh-oh syndrome. And the uh-oh syndrome was this. He was doing research on how would monolingual English-speaking students react to accents. So he plopped himself down in these various classes that had professors who spoke with accents. He would watch, he would observe, he would listen. And as soon as these professors would start speaking with their accents, what would some of the students do? Yes, exactly. That was the name of his research project. So he would hear students say, uh-oh, or oh no, or some other choice words I can't repeat right now. And after hearing some of these things, he would see a few students leave the class, never to return, presumably because they didn't want to have to deal with the accent. Well, what my colleague did was he watched and observed the students who decided to stay in the class. He watched them throughout the semester to see what would happen. And to make long story short, this is what he found out. At the end of the semester, he asked the students who stayed, what was the communication like? Can you tell me a little bit more about those interactions? Many of the students said, we thought we'd have communication issues, but really didn't. They said over the course of the semester, we learned to understand and decipher words that we couldn't understand at first. Kind of like what many of us parents do with little kids, right? How many of you have been around little kids who are first starting to speak? Could you understand every word that they said when they were starting? No, you couldn't. But what did you do? Did you just kind of leave? Just leave them behind? No, you stuck around and you put some effort into understanding them. Why did you put effort into understanding them? Because you loved and cared about them. See, that was the key for these students. The students who cared about something, whether it was their grade, their professor, or something else, when they cared about something, they put some effort into understanding. And when they put effort into understanding, guess what happened for them over the course of the semester? They learned to understand things they could not understand at the beginning of the semester. What my colleague found in his research is something that we all kind of know intuitively. And that something is this: the more effort you put into understanding, the more you understand. Effort is positively correlated with understanding. Those students who had indicated on a survey at the end of the semester that they had put some effort into understanding ended up evaluating these professors with their accents as good or better as any other on the campus of Michigan State University. My colleague wrote this in his paper. He wrote, "In our encounters with difference, which we will have more of in the future, we need to give others a chance." In our encounters with difference, we need to give others a chance, he wrote. I like what he wrote there, but I love what we talked about afterward. We talked about this. In our encounters with difference, we need to give ourselves a chance. We kind of flip the switch, turn the arrow. In our encounters with difference, we need to give ourselves a chance. We talked about, I love what we talked about because of this reason. See, probably like me, you've watched and observed in our society. When something is wrong, when something is broken, who do we like to go fix first? Yes, exactly. We like to go fix the other person first. But think about this for a second. At any given moment, we are the other person. At any given moment, we are the other person, and who's the only person you can truly fix? Yourself, exactly. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to fix you. All right, some of you got that. You're waking up. We'll get going. I need to wake your brains up. See, some people refer to me as a diversity expert. I was speaking to Hollywood executives on Monday on issues of diversity and inclusion. I was speaking to Coca-Cola folks on Tuesday. Now I'm here with you. Some people refer to me as a diversity expert. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I am one. Why do I say that? In large part, it's because I don't know what a diversity expert is supposed to be like. First of all, there's no university on the face of the earth where you get a PhD in diversity. There's no list of criteria that people come up with that says, if you do these things, you know these other things, you're now a diversity expert. Nothing like that. If I'm an expert in anything, it's around human behavior. And I more consider myself a student of human behavior. My PhD is in the field of communication science. If you know anything about the field of communication science, you know it grows out of two more well-known prominent fields called psychology and sociology. So you can think of me as a psychosociologist, right? I'm a psychosociologist. And what I do as a psychosociologist is I study you all. I look at what you're like in your natural habitat, right? I look at what happens to you when you encounter new and novel things. I look at how you treat other people when you don't get enough sleep or under lots of stress. I'm also this thing called a cognitive neuroscientist. You know what that means? It means I had no dates in college. That's what it means, right? No, it just means I'm a geek who studies the brain. I'm a geek who studies the brain. My particular branch of neuroscience has been labeled social neuroscience. So look at how the brain responds to social settings when other human beings are around. I look at how others' words and their actions impact and actually shape our brain over time, and then how our brain influences us to act when we are around other people. The coolest thing I find in social neuroscience is what we're going to explore just a little bit in my talk tonight. That cool thing is this. The human brain, our brain, is optimized to perform at its best under two root conditions. And these two root conditions I'm about to give you are what we call necessary, but not necessarily sufficient conditions. So there needs to be some other factors along with these two conditions, but these are among the foundational factors for sustained optimal performance by the human brain. The two conditions are these. Our brain wants to be around other people, condition 1, who care about it, condition 2. The brain wants to be around other people who care about it. Let's take a quick look at that, and we'll dive a little further into those two conditions during my talk. Let's take that first condition. Why does our brain want to be around other people? Or as I like to say, be part of a tribe. What do you think? Yes, for protection, for safety reasons. Take a look at it this way. Our ancestors developed in very hostile environments. Why was it important to be around other people, especially if you're a human being? The more of you there are, the safer you are, because if you take us, the human being, compare us to the rest of the animal kingdom, for our size and weight, we are relatively weak and slow. A chimpanzee half our size is 3 times as strong as us. That's not even the strongest of the primates. The gorilla, 15 times stronger than us. And Kong, 1,000,000 times stronger than us. You take an ant, you drop it from this height, what will it do? Walk away. You take a human being, drops from the equivalent of this height, what will we do? Yeah, we will not walk away. A fawn is born in the wild. How soon before it begins to walk and run? Anyone know? Within minutes, they'll be walking. Within the hour, most, if not all of them, will be running. Any parents in here? How soon before a human baby walks, parents? About a year on average, right? So you kind of get the idea. We need others to survive. Not only do we need them in the womb, our mom, we need them as soon as we're plopped out of the womb. And not just for a few more minutes, days, or weeks. We need them for another 25 more years, I'm finding out. I have 4 kids about your age, between the ages of 17 and 24. So we need other people. We want to be around other people. But have you noticed, you can be around other people and also feel very lonely? See, being alone and loneliness are at times 2 distinctly different things. So not only do we want to be around other people, we want those people to get this, to value us, to hold us in significance. Why is that so important for the human brain to be valued and cared about? What do you think? Again, safety reasons. So imagine yourself on the Serengeti long ago, dangerous, hostile environments. Let's say you're part of a tribe. They value you, but they don't value you that much. They value other people in the tribe much more than you. Under those conditions, what happens to you when the tribe starts to run low on food and water? You're one of the first not to get food and water, right? What happens to you when the tribe starts to dabble in sacrifice? You're one of the first to be experimented on, right? So it raised the probability of survival if you were part of a tribe that cared about you a lot. Take those 2 conditions, add some other factors onto that, sprinkle in a ton of time, and what you get is this. The brain is hardwired to belong. The brain is hardwired to belong, if for no other reason. That's why organizations and a society, a country, should be working on issues of inclusion. I'm going to show you the hardwiring in a second, but I'm going to show you what happens in the human brain when you don't feel like you belong, okay? So we're going to talk about these things called insiders and outsiders. Can you see is the screen? Yeah, insiders and outsiders. Every diversity issue that we talk about in our society is an insider-outsider issue. Whether we're talking about race and gender, or we're talking about which department you work in, which university you go to, anything that divides people that we call a diversity issue is an insider-outsider issue. And if you start to use these terms, it will make more sense because, see, we've all experienced both conditions, haven't we? We each know what it's like to be an insider. We each know what it's like to be an outsider. And the other thing why it's important to use these types of terms is because, see, that's the first decision your brain makes about a person when you encounter them. When you encounter another person, in the background, your brain is basically saying this: are you part of my tribe or not part of my tribe, right? And that decision, that first judgment we make about people has subsequent impact on other ways we think about them. Because if you've noticed, an insider and an outsider can do the exact same thing. We will give different reasons for why they do those things, right? Let me give you my favorite example. I am a proud Michigan State Spartan. So as a proud Michigan State Spartan, yes, go green! Go white, exactly, right? So as a proud Michigan State Spartan, I have a green S on my license plate. It stands for state. It tells everybody that oh yeah, by the way, all the cars in our household has a green S on the license plate. It tells everybody that my family, we are loyal citizens of Spartan Nation. We are good people. Other people in my state of Michigan, other very bad people in my state of Michigan, they have a blue M on their license plate. They're a University of Michigan Wolverine. And anytime anybody drives by me with a blue M on their license plate, they cut me off, they veer right in front of me, because that's what those people do. They're genetically encoded to treat other people poorly. They are animals. Wolverines is in their name. How could they not be? But here's the deal, though. If a person with a green S on their license plate drives by me and cuts me off, I'll probably say, they didn't see me. See, if you notice in there, an insider to me, a Spartan, cuts me off in the road, I'm less critical, less harsh with them. An outsider, a Wolverine, cuts me off in the road, I'm very harsh with them. And that's how our brain operates. For insiders, we give the benefit of the doubt. For outsiders, we look very harshly upon. An outsider is on welfare. Why is the outsider on welfare, everyone? We all know, right? It's because they're lazy, they don't work hard enough. An insider is on welfare. Why is the insider on welfare? Bad luck, poor economy, variables outside of their control. Understand, an insider and an outsider and how you see people has an impact on how you think about them, even when the insider and outsider do the exact same thing, right? Why does our brain do that? Why does our brain do that? Well, let me do something for you. How many of you are a little bit tired? How many of you, I'm a little bit tired, so I need to wake your brains up. I need to wake your brains up. I've had a long week, and it's not even over yet. I'm a little tired. I need to wake your brains up. We're going to be talking about the brain a little bit more, and that involves talking about complex things. And your brain actually has to be warmed up to process complex information. So I'm going to wake your brains up by doing a simple math problem. I used to be a college professor. I'd have these 8 o'clock morning classes where students would roll in kind of sleepy or kind of drunk, right? And I know you wouldn't do that. But they did that there, okay? So I had to wake their brains up so we could have a good class. So what I did to them, I'm going to do to you to wake your brains up. We're going to do a simple math problem. We're going to do it out loud together. For those of you who are mathophobic, do not worry. It's very easy. It's simple addition. I'm going to give you a series of numbers to add up. Add them up silently in your head. Don't do it out loud. Do it silently in your head. And then when I call out for the answer, yell it out really loudly for all the people around you to hear how smart you are. Because if there's ever going to be a time you're going to get a math problem right, this is the time. It's that easy, right? Simple addition, again, quiet in the room, do it silently until I call out for the answer. When I call it out, yell it out really loudly, okay? Got it? Begin with the number 1,000. Put 1,000 into your head. To that 1,000, add 40. Add another 1,000. Add 30. Add another 1,000. Add 20. Add another 1,000. Add 10. What's the answer? 5,000. Raise your hand if you got 5,000. Raise your hand. All right. All right. Raise your hand again. I want to see who got the 5,000. Okay? If you got the 5,000, that tells me your brain is working. Let's just see if your brain is working correctly. Before I had you add 10, you arrived at 4,090. Is that not right? What is 4,090 plus 10? 0 plus 0, 0. 9 plus 1 is 34. Y'all suck at math. How'd you get this wrong? Is this a particularly hard math problem? No, it's not, but how'd you get it wrong? And for those of you who got it wrong, do not worry. I do this little thing with MIT mathematicians, do it with NASA engineers. 70 to 80% of them get it wrong because it's not a measure of intelligence, it's not a measure specifically of math intelligence, but it does give us an idea of how your brain operates and what it loves. What does your brain love based on what you saw here? Exactly. Your brain loves patterns. Your brain loves patterns so much, it'll find a pattern where a pattern does not exist. But why does your brain love patterns? It's because it's lazy. Your brain is lazy, but it doesn't like to hear it that way. It would rather hear, I'm very efficient, okay? So either way, whether you think of it as a lazy brain or an efficient brain, your brain's always trying to conserve energy. Your brain operates on this thing called an efficiency principle, and it's always trying to conserve energy. This is not fake or imaginary energy, it's energy in the form of glucose. Your brain primarily runs on glucose. To understand this piece better, you need to know some basic neurobiology. In the average human adult, the brain accounts for about 2% of our body mass, but requires about 20% of our body's energy at any given moment in time. For its size and weight, it uses a disproportionate amount of energy. Thinking requires energy. How many of you don't do really anything physical throughout the day, but you come home kind of tired? Yeah, thinking requires energy. With that said, you cannot lose weight by thinking really hard. You can't get to that point, okay? So let's see if you're following the logic here. Let's see if you're following the logic. Processing data requires what? Energy. And your brain wants to conserve energy. Okay, so now think about this. Of these two environments, new and familiar, in which one of these environments does your brain have to process more energy and more data and use more energy? Yes, so more energy here. If your brain is trying to conserve energy, which of these environments will your brain prefer? The new or the familiar? The familiar. So your brain prefers the familiar. So from a neuroscience perspective, guess why you hang out with people who are like you? Guess why you hang out with people of similar beliefs, similar attitudes? Because it's just easier on your brain. Guess why the CNN folks hang out with the CNN folks and the Fox News folks hang out with the Fox News folks? And they don't cross nowadays, right? Right? And why don't they cross? It just requires lots of energy. If I had to hang out with people who are different than me, I'd have to spend a lot of energy trying to convince them that they're wrong about things. Why would I want to do that? I'll just hang out with people who already agree with me. The problem is, what's the problem? When we don't get out of our comfort zones, we don't advance ourselves as learners. We don't recognize people out there who may actually need our help because we're just surrounded by people who are like us. Okay? Does that make sense? That make sense? Okay. I just want to quickly show you what's going on in your brain when you're an outsider. Oh yeah, before that, I'm going to ask you a question over and over and over. I want you to answer the question over and over and over, and then I'll ask you another question you answer out loud, okay? So we're going to say this. We're going to say, what color is the screen? Can you put the screen up, somebody? The white screen? What color is the 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 screen? What do cows drink? No, they don't. They drink water. I can make you look stupid all night if I wanted to. Okay, so, hold on. Okay, so I wanted to show you something. In judging things like people, in decision making, in evaluation, because your brain wants to conserve energy, it trades accuracy for speed. It trades quality of decision making for quickness of decision making. Let's do another one. You want to do another one? All right, let's do another one. Okay. Say this word out loud with me 10 times. So top, T-O-P. Wait. Okay, here we go. Ready? Top, 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 top. What do you do to green light? Let's do one more, okay? Because I like this. Before we do this one, how many of you catching on with what you're supposed to do before you answer? How many of you are going, okay, this is a tricky Asian guy. I need to what before I answer? Pause and think, right? In our world today, our fast-paced world, we don't pause and think enough. We don't reflect enough. Okay, so let's see if you get it. Let's see if you figure this out. We're going to say joke 10 times. I'll ask a question, you answer, all right? I want to hear it out loud. Here we go. If somebody by you is not participating, take your hand and slap them upside the head for me. Okay? So here we go. Don't really do it. Or do it really softly. Okay. So here we go. Joke. What do you call the white part of an egg? It's called the albumin. All right, hold on. If you never had a class, if you never had experiences that taught you what albumin was, how could you come up with the right answer? Would pausing help? Would reflecting on it help? No. Okay, my point here is this. You learned that you need to pause, but you hopefully learn that you need to learn lots of things in life, like what are other people like. If you don't step out of your comfort zone and learn about other cultures, learn about other people, what they like, what they dislike, how they live their life, you'll never come up with the right answer no matter how much you pause. So you got to get out of your comfort zones. Okay, I'm running out of time, so let me share with you why I do this work that people call diversity and inclusion. And then you'll start to understand why I don't think of it as diversity and inclusion. I think about it very differently. Okay, so I came to the United States in 1970 when I was 5 years old from Vietnam. In that year, my mom married an American serviceman there, not necessarily because she loved him, but also so she could take me to the United States and give me a chance at life. Recognize I didn't say a chance at a life. I said a chance at life to live another day. The war was escalating, it was becoming more dangerous, so my mom makes this decision to take me to the U.S. In making that decision, she simultaneously makes the decision to leave our whole family behind. Mom, dad, grandmother, grandfather, aunts and uncles, cousins. And that pained my mom a great deal because in Vietnamese culture, family means everything. You are nothing without your family in Vietnamese culture. In fact, if you were to come to me in Vietnam and you asked, who are you? My traditional response would be, I am the son of, I am the brother of. I would give you my family name first. And if you've noticed in Asian countries, we officially put our family name first and our individual name second. Shows importance. The group is more important than the person, right? So it pains my mom a great deal to leave her family behind, our family behind, to offset some of that pain and try to give us both hope as we're flying across the oceans to the United States. My mom tries to teach me some things that she had learned about the United States as she was growing up. She tried to teach me some concepts, powerful and embedded in words that many of us are familiar with. Words that sound like these. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they're endowed by their creators with certain inalienable rights, that among those rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. She tries to teach me powerful concepts in those beginning words of our Declaration of Independence. She tries to teach me the place we're going, called the United States of America, was one of very few places across the globe where you could come with nothing except for the shirt on your back, but end up with something if you worked hard enough. She left out the part about it's good to know people too. Because relationships matter, don't they? In fact, the research says that relationships are often more important than this thing called hard work. Because you have to have a relationship to get into the door to show that you can work hard. So she tries to teach me these things as we fly across the oceans. We eventually land into Los Angeles International Airport, LAX. We get off the plane. We go in this area, this building where we're processed as immigrants. We leave that building and walk into a corridor. And as we walk into that corridor, people there begin throwing things at me and my mom. And these were not good things. They would spit on us as we walked by. They would yell horrible words at us as we passed by. I didn't understand English at the time, but I knew these were not good words by the way people were yelling them. I remember my mom putting her arms around me, all 4'11", 95 pounds of this young Vietnamese woman, trying to protect her only son from the things that people were throwing at us. And as we'd walk along the corridor, sometimes the pelting would become harder and harder. My mom would instinctively squeeze tighter and tighter, and sometimes she would squeeze so tightly that it would hurt. On those occasions, I'd look up. I'd want to say something to my mom, but I never did. Because every time I looked up, all I saw was tears streaming down her face. And even as a little 5-year-old, I knew I should be silent at the time. We weren't treated well when we first arrived here in the U.S. We were these outsiders that the insiders didn't want in their country. We were these immigrants that they didn't want, they forgetting that we are a nation of immigrants, aren't we? I grew up in some tough neighborhoods around LA called Compton, Long Beach, and Bellflower. I'd often get bloodied. All right. I'd often get bloodied and beaten in fights I got into at school. But as I look upon those years, I don't look at my pain. I don't consider my pain as a parent of 4 kids. I look at those situations, those years, through the lens of being a parent. And what I think about is this. What did my mom go through every single day when she sent me off to school and I had to wait many hours to find out how much blood might be on me when I returned home from school? Imagine living that life. To make a long story short, the guy that my mom married to take us to the U.S., my stepfather, I was never really close to him. It's hard to get close to someone who beats you when you're a minute late for dinner, and who beats you again because you can't finish your dinner because you aren't hungry from the first beating. Hard to get close to someone like that. But that's someone that I couldn't get close to, got really close to my little sister. In 1984, my stepfather was convicted of raping my little sister. And because of that and the way she was treated as a biracial child in school, half white, half Vietnamese, my sister runs away from home in the summer of '84 with a friend of hers. 1 month after my sister runs away, my mom gets a phone call from a detective in the King County Sheriff's Department, Seattle, Washington. And in so many words, the detective says to my mom, he says, "Mrs. Robbins, we found the other girl that your daughter ran away with, but that other girl had been sexually assaulted and bludgeoned to death." And as soon as he says that, my mom frantically asks, "What about my daughter? What about Diane? What do you know about her?" And all the detective would say was, "We don't know. There's no trace of your daughter. We don't know. There's no evidence of your daughter. We don't know. There are no leads to follow. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know." All he could say over and over to my mom's questions was, "We don't know." That was 1984. It's 2019 now, and we still don't know. How many of you have ever heard of a guy by the name of Gary Ridgway? You would know him also as the Green River Killer. Murdered more than 50 young women in the Green River area of Seattle, Washington in the 80s and 90s. My sister is believed to possibly be one of his many victims, but we don't know. We've never found any remains. As you might imagine, after that phone call, life is not so great for my mom and me, but it's especially bad for my mom because you're not supposed to outlive your children, are you? My mom goes into this deep depression, not many happy days in her life after that phone call. But there came a time when she was happy, at least temporarily. It came in June of 1991. That's when I get married to my wife, Donna, out in Michigan. My mom flies out for this week-long wedding celebration, and for a week, it's the happiest I see my mom since that phone call. But as you and I know, all good things must come to an end, right? The wedding celebration ends. My mom flies back home to Washington State, where she's living at the time, goes back into depression. Just a few months later, I began graduate school at Michigan State University. My mom and I are separated by 1,500 miles, so we talk on the phone every week, share with each other the week's events. On this particular phone call in late October 91, we're talking and we're sharing. And as we're about to close, before we hang up, my mom says to me, she says, Long, my Vietnamese name. She says, Long, you have Donna to take care of you now, she says, and we hang up. A week later, I get a phone call from Washington State. I expect it to be my mom. I pick up the phone, but it's not my mom's voice. It's a voice from a detective from the Benton County Sheriff's Department in Pasco, Washington, where my mom was living at the time. And in so many words, the detective says to me, Mr. Robbins, we have some unfortunate news we have. We just found your mom, and she was hanging in her shower. A week after my mom says to me, you have Donna to take care of you now, my mom takes her own life. Up until the point of my mom's suicide, I hated being Asian. I hated what I looked like. I hated the people I came from. Why? It's because over the course of my lifetime, I heard so many negative things said about Vietnamese people that my own brain, without my permission, built a negative mental model of Vietnamese people, of Asian people. I did not like being me. In the world of race studies, we call that internalized racial oppression. When you start to hate the people you come from because you believe all the bad stuff told about the people you come from. The gender equivalent of that is when we use media messages to tell young girls and women what they're supposed to look like. And when some can't achieve that look, they start to hate who they are. Do not underestimate the power of words and messages to tear people down, to make them feel like outsiders. But also, do not underestimate the power of words and messages to lift people up, to make them feel like insiders. If there was anything that was good that came out of my mom's suicide, it could be the timing of it. It happened the first semester of graduate school for me. It's that one single incident alone that led me to study what I studied in graduate school. Some of the things that we kind of just barely touched on today about insiders and outsiders. It's that one single incident alone that leads me to do the work that I do today. I do this work that people call diversity and inclusion to honor my mom and my little sister. To try to create a better world for my 4 kids and their friends. This work that people call diversity and inclusion, for me, is fundamentally about caring for other people. See, the work of diversity and inclusion is about caring for other people, and the true measure of whether you're a caring person is not how well you care for your friends and your homies, the insiders. The true measure of a caring person is how well you care for strangers and outsiders. That's the true measure. The cool part about that is this. The more you care for strangers and outsiders, the more friends and homies you get. That's kind of a sucky story to leave you with, isn't it? But I'm inspired by things my mom did for me. I remember those memories. I could be filled with hate, but I take my mom's memories and put them as a vision for what I need to be. I know it's kind of a sucky story to leave you with, and I can't do that because I'm part psychologist, so I need everybody to stand up. I need everybody to stand up. And I know there's lots of people in here, so work with me on this. Just step out a little ways and find an open space where you can put your arms out and spin and not hit anybody, if possible, okay? Okay? Put your arms out, spin if you're able to, and not hit anybody. Okay? Now, you can put your arms down. Now listen up. I got some instructions for you. Right now, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes, and I'm going to tell you something to imagine. Close your eyes. Imagine a world where the story you just heard about me and my mom and my sister, you would never have to hear again. Imagine a world where people are more open-minded and willing to listen to different perspectives. Imagine our country in the United States where Republicans work with Democrats to make our country a better place. Imagine that world, right? Now open your eyes. Open your eyes. If you're able to, put your arms out like this. And let's say if all of us can keep our arms out for 5 minutes, that world will come true. Are you willing to try? Is what you imagine important enough for you to try? Yeah, because we still have 4 minutes and 50 seconds left. How many of you with your arms out like here are starting to feel the strain already, only 20 seconds in? How many of you are starting to feel a little bit maybe like, I don't know if I can do this? It's okay to say yes. How many of you are feeling that pain? Okay, DJ, play me my song. A little louder. If you know this song, take some cues. If you're standing alone, what might work so you don't have to suffer as much pain in those shoulders? Move around. Make sure that nobody's shoulders are hurting. If you don't know the song is called Lean on Me. Now, I'm going to have you move around. If you notice anybody's arm hanging out, you're not in the right formation. If you see somebody in pain, you got to move around and make sure that nobody is in pain. Sing it out loud if you know it. Carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Now I see some arms sticking out. I see arms sticking out. You gotta get out. You gotta do some work. Make sure nobody's arms is sticking out. You might have to move out. Don't just stand there while others are in pain. Did you hear me? Don't stand there when others are in pain. If you see somebody's arm out like this, you need to move around. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. See, these arms are sticking out here. You might need to move. Help this guy out. Help this guy out. Look around you. Once you're comfortable, you got to make sure other people are not in pain. That's what we do. Justice requires those who suffer the least to speak up the most. Stand for justice. Call. I want to hear you. When you need a hand, we all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean. Now, turn to your right. Turn to your right and put your arms on their shoulders. Put your hands on their shoulders. Put your hands on their shoulders. Give it a little back rub. Give it a little back rub. Right up the road, I'll share your load. If you just call me. Now, shh. Quiet, everyone. Quiet, quiet. Listen to the words. If you need a hand, call me. Are you willing to say that to people that you don't even know? DJ, bring the sound down just a little bit. Bring the sound down a little bit. Bring the sound down. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with this. Sound all the way off. I'm gonna leave you with this. Everybody, just in the room, because I'm going to bring out some words that my mom said to me when I was growing up. When I was growing up, my mom would say to me this Chinese proverb. It goes like this: tall trees face strong winds. Tall trees face strong winds, she would say. I never really knew what she meant when I was growing up, but I figured it out. What she was telling me was this. She was saying, little son, my little son, stand tall against the strong winds of injustice. But when you stand tall, recognize that the winds will get strong at times and you're gonna feel hurt. You're gonna be in pain sometimes standing up to those strong winds of injustice. When you do that, as future healthcare professionals, you're gonna be helping people. And some of those people, you may not want to help because of what they did and who they are, but you gotta help them. It may be painful to stand tall, and at times when you stand against the strong winds of injustice, you're gonna get tired, and at times you're gonna wanna quit. In those times that you feel like you can't go on, that you wanna quit, remember that other tall trees are standing with you. You may not see them, but they are there, and one of them is me. Thank you for your time.
We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you
Thank you so much for the inspirational message, Dr. Steve Robbins. One of the greatest things about HOSA is the opportunity for every local chapter to solve the problems and challenges that face us as a society. As future health professionals, diversity of thought, skill, and self are all needed in order to work together as a team, especially if we remember that if everyone plays, we all win. Tonight's session may be winding down, but there is so much more planned for you at this year's ILC. I hope that each member truly challenges themselves to perform their very best during competition, to inspire others by example, and to lead a life of service for others. I know that the workshops and events we have planned ahead will help everyone achieve their goals and further define your purpose in the health professions. The 2019 HOSA International Leadership Conference opening general session is now adjourned.